Hi everyone, good evening, and welcome to Pammy Plus Parks. I'm Pammy, and you guys can kind of think of me as your plus size fairy godmother, bringing you all the best information on how to get around Walt Disney World as a plus size person. The primary goal of Pammy Plus Parks, the channel, is to make a video for every ride and attraction at all 4 of the Walt Disney World parks to show you what it's like in first person from the point of view of a plus size person, how to get on and off of rides and in and out of theaters. So I want you to know everything you could possibly need to know to have a nice, relaxing, comfortable vacation. And that's what this channel is all about. But this evening, the reason why I'm doing this live cast is kind of a celebration, because this morning, the Pammy Plus Parks Facebook group hit 100 members. Now, considering I've only had that group open a couple of months and I've done absolutely nothing to promote it, it's showing me that you guys are looking for me on Facebook and in social media, and that you're looking for good resources for information for plus size people at Walt Disney World. So you're finding me, and I'm really grateful for that. I also want to thank everyone who has watched my videos in different plus size Facebook groups, plus size Disney Facebook groups, and the folks who give me little shout outs and you copy links for me of my videos into other people's comments and kind of share them with your family and friends. I really, really appreciate that. So anytime you take the link and you share it with somebody else, that is fantastic to me, because I want as many people as possible to receive this information. And thank you so much, Jill, for your comment. That's wonderful. I'm so glad that the tips were helpful to you. I'm going to not really greet every single person as you come in with every comment that comes up on here, simply because I want to kind of plug through everything that we're covering tonight, all the questions that I've already received. So I got a bunch of questions. I put it out there on the Pammy Plus Parks Facebook group and also in the Disney Pals Plus Facebook group. I asked you guys for your questions and you sent them to me, and you can ask me anything tonight. You can ask me anything about me, about my husband. It can be about Disney. It could be about life in general, and I'll do whatever I can to answer it. Some of the questions I'm not going to be able to answer, because I know I had some people ask me questions about like the resorts and stuff, and I don't really stay in the resorts because I'm fairly local to the parks. I usually just go home when I'm done at the park. And when I do stay in the area, I usually stay at a really cheap hotel that I get a really good discount at. So I've never actually stayed at a Disney resort. What I'd recommend in that case is that you go to one of the other Disney plus size Facebook groups, which I'll link down in the description later on after the video's done. So you can become a member of one of those groups, and those folks there can give you tons of information about that. But let's go ahead and get started with the questions. And I believe these are coming from my Pammy Plus Parks page. And Kim asked me, have you ever been to Legoland, or is it someplace you'd go? My kids want to go, and I'm worried about my sizes versus Legoland. And she also says she loves my videos and stuff like that. So thank you, Kim. Legoland is definitely a place I want to go to. I played with the Legos like crazy as a kid, and even though I don't have children myself, I know I would really enjoy it. And from what I understand, they have a lot of really neat roller coasters and some kind of like cool family-friendly thrill rides. So I would love to experience that. Right now, I don't really have the funds to do it. Right now, I'm just covering Walt Disney World, and if I happen to do any other parks in between, I will. It is absolutely my goal to expand past the Walt Disney World parks into Universal Studios, SeaWorld, Legoland, Busch Gardens, every possible park you can imagine. In the meantime, I do what I can do financially. I do Lowry Park Zoo. Mark and I are always going to St. Augustine and different places around Florida looking to do quirky, fun, cool stuff. So whenever we do something like that, I usually do a vlog about it and add it, just so that you have new, interesting things that you can do that are outside of Walt Disney World that you might want to add to your vacation, or if you live here in Florida, something cool that you might want to do on the weekend, because there's always cool stuff to do in Florida. I've lived down here almost, probably like, 47 years, and I still haven't done everything there is to do. Never run out of stuff to do. But yes, Legoland isn't something I've done yet, but I definitely want to do it. Lisa asked me, can you do a video on Space Mountain? Because she says out of all the parks, that's the one she's most afraid of getting on and off of. Yes, I will do a video for Space Mountain. Space Mountain's loading and unloading areas are very, very dim, and it's hard to get really good footage, clear footage of someone getting in and out of the ride. So I've been waiting to do some of those rides with the dark loading and unloading zones until I get a better camera. And Mark got me an amazing Valentine's gift. It hasn't arrived yet, but he got me a new Canon G7X Mark II camera, which is fantastic in low light settings and a wonderful travel vlog camera. And we also got some studio lights, which are on their way as well. So this will be the last time that you see me with these like weird eyeglass shadows, and I'll have much better lighting next time. Right now I'm just using my lighting around my house. So I'll look so much more professional with a better camera and better lights in the future. But yes, as soon as I get a better camera and I've had a little time to play around with it, one of the very first rides I'm going to try to do for you is Space Mountain, so you can see that. And you're right, it is hard to get in and out of that. Actually, getting in, it's not that hard. Getting out of it is. When you get into it, you're just stepping down into it and you're kind of like squatting down to sit down, and then you put your legs almost extended in front of you. So when the ride finishes, you're basically in what would be a sitting position on the floor, and you have to try to get up from that. And if you're a larger person, you know, especially with me, like all my weight's on my torso, it can be kind of hard to it's like a weeble wobble trying to get out of the thing, and hanging onto the car can be kind of precarious. So there's a little technique that you have to use to get out of it, and just be patient and take your time getting out of the car, and don't rush, don't panic. Do what you have to do to get out. Oh, if you hear someone screaming, that's Abraham. Whenever I talk on the telephone or am I doing some vlogging or taping or something like that, he always screams at me because he gets jealous. He wants me to pick him up and pet him. So I know, buddy. Maybe if he comes over, I'll pick him up. He's not close enough right now. Oh, and Christy asks, do you ever post when you're going to visit a park? And would it be okay if we direct message you when we go, just so that we can try and meet up? Sometimes I do, it depends. Sometimes Mark and I like to have a Disney date night, or I'm going there to do like a double date with another couple, or I'm going to Disney to have like a special day with a friend, and I'm not doing any vlogging, and I really just want to focus all my attention on that person that I'm there for, whether it's my husband or a friend. So I won't post that because, you know, if we run into each other and we happen to run into each other, fantastic, fabulous. Definitely come up and say hello. I'm absolutely cool with that. But I wouldn't make any arrangements to meet up with anybody in that case. Another case that I wouldn't announce it necessarily is if like sometimes I'll do meetups with Facebook groups that are not my own Facebook group, and you have to be a member of that Facebook group in order to join in on the meetup. So I'm not going to publicly announce that necessarily, because if you're not a member of that group, you're not invited to it, and it might be awkward for the people who are members to have a non-member join. But if you see me, again, anytime you see me in the park, you can just come up and say hello. I would be delighted to meet you. But I do sometimes announce when I'm going to be in the parks, if I'm just going to be vlogging, if I'm going to be by myself, if there's nothing major going on, then I'll let you know where I am in the parks. And sometimes I just do a live cast once I get there to let you know I'm already there. But yeah, if you're planning to go to the parks and you want to just send me a direct message, or you know, even leave a message on the Pammy Plus Parks Facebook group, which I will link in the description below, then yeah, let me know, and I'll let you know if I'm going. And sometimes I don't announce when I'm going, because I don't know I'm going until I go. Because it'll be like Sunday and we'll be at church and Mark will go, let's go to Disney after church. And I'll be like, okay. So I'm not going to announce that because I didn't know. I wasn't planning to go. But I'll try to be better about that in the Facebook group to let you guys know when I can. Let's see. Okay, and Kathy Jo asked about my hair, because I did say you could ask about anything. She was asking me, let's see, I love your hair. It looks so fab. How were you able to go from your pretty jet black hair to your current transformation? I want to do that someday. How difficult was it? Did you just patiently grow it out, or did you remove some color? So my natural hair color is, you can kind of see it here a little bit. It's jet black. I have black hair, or had. Now it's gray. And I just had been dyeing my hair. I started going gray when I was 11, and so I started dyeing it in earnest when I was about 15. And then, golly, I guess it must have been not quite 2 years ago, I just had gone a few weeks without dyeing my hair, because it was at the point where my hair grows fast. Like, it grows 3/4 to 1 inch, 3/4 of an inch to 1 inch per month. So if I have a special occasion or something like that, I would have to cover my roots or touch them up before the special occasion, because my hair would grow out. Like in 10 days, you start seeing the roots. Well, one time we just got busy at the holidays, and I was just like, I don't want to dye my hair anymore. I told Mark, I'm sick of it. I don't want to do it. And he said, I don't know why you do it. When it grows out, like, what I see is all sparkly and pretty. Why don't you just let it grow out? I'm sure it'll look beautiful. And once he said that, and he thought it would look beautiful, I was like, that's it. That's all I needed to hear. So I stopped coloring it, and I let it grow out. And I'm going to be honest with you, my hair, again, does grow very fast, so it wasn't that long before. It was like 2 months, and I had a good 2 full inches of hair that was grown out. And I went to my stylist, and I said, what do I do? Do we, like, remove some color from my hair? And in my case, because it was so dark, she's like, no, maybe, hi guys. Oh, it's the Andersons. Oh, hi. I'm so sorry. Promise you I wouldn't jump in and do that, but when it's Stacy and Michael, the Andersons Love and Life, they have a fabulous channel. I will link them down in the description too afterwards. I hope you guys go check them out. But again, with the hair, so letting it grow out, you know, I had 2 inches of hair. People were noticing. And I don't know what they were thinking, but there was this one person that I work with who said, what's that skunk stripe down the middle of your head? I think she thought I had done it to be funny, or like it was, I don't know. I don't think she realized it was real gray, because when I said, well, I'm growing my gray out, she was like, oh, sorry, oh. So, and then I had another coworker. I should mention I do work in the media. So I work with a lot of people who are in the public eye, and one of these individuals really pressed me to continue dyeing my hair and said that they believed I would have a lot of age discrimination in my field, and that it would be a huge problem for me, and I should never let people know how old I am. I am right now 47. Next month I turn 48, and she's like, don't let people know you're that old. I'm like, that's not really that old. And she said to me, well, you look like you're in your late 20s or mid 30s. I don't think I look that young, but you know, she said, you hide your age as long as you can. And she went so far as to buy me some products to touch up my roots. And then one of the products that she brought me, she insisted that she spray on my head while we were at work, which I thought was hysterical, but it made some other people really upset, and they felt that what she did was very ageist and very inappropriate. And looking back on that, I was like, yeah, that really wasn't appropriate. So when you do grow your hair out, people are going to say things. You're just gonna have to let it slide off your back and have a thick skin about it. And because, like I said, I had darker hair, I couldn't actually, you know, do anything to kind of bring the rest of the color down. It would look really weird. What they could have done, she said, is add color in at the roots and add additional streaks, but then it would blend it in a little better, but it would take a long time for it to grow out. So I just left it alone. And once the gray got to about here, maybe I had 3 or 4 inches of hair that was gray, I went ahead and I got a shorter haircut that was like right up to here with tons of layers in it. And when I did that, because I had 4 inches of gray everywhere throughout my hair, it just blended it all in, and it looked gorgeous, and it looked almost like it was grown out anyhow. So once you hit that 4-inch mark, if you're willing to get your hair cut a little bit shorter and blend it in, it's gonna look fantastic. I don't know how long it takes you to grow your hair, how fast your hair grows, but I would definitely recommend a supplement, a hair growing supplement, some vitamins or something like that, to try to get your hair to grow a little faster. I don't need that. If I took that, I swear to God, my hair would just shoot out of my head a million, like Rapunzel. So I'm lucky that way. I really am very blessed and fortunate. But I recommend it to anyone. Stop dyeing your hair. Let your hair go gray. It's silvery. It's beautiful. It's like unicorn hair. It sparkles. It's gorgeous. And when you're younger and your hair is gray, it looks amazing. It throws people off. It throws them for a loop, and they love it, and you'll get tons of compliments. The lady who said she was afraid for my career because my hair was going gray, ironically, once my hair went fully gray, and it was gray from roots to tips, I got a promotion. So there you go. Goes to show you it doesn't matter. You know, it's all in your attitude and how you feel about it. So let's see. Any other questions? So let me move on to the Disney Pals Plus questions. Someone asked me, have you had a chance to ride Navi River at Animal Kingdom? And if so, do you have any tips? Yes, I did get to ride Navi River. When I tried Flight of Passage and I was not able to fit, that part of that had to do with what I was wearing and the fact that I had a little teeny tiny cast member girl who was so sweet and she had no upper body strength. So she was pushing the ride, it was like a butterfly. And I needed somebody to get in there with some gusto and push the thing, but it's okay. I'll try it again some other time. Oh, someone just asked me, will you do any Universal Studio videos? If you look back earlier, I am planning to do that, but probably not this year. I'm not going to have the finances for it, but eventually I do want to do that. But for Navi River, because I couldn't fit on Flight of Passage, one of the things they do for you if you don't fit on that ride is they give you 2 fast passes. You get a fast pass for the Navi River journey, and you get a fast pass that you can use on any ride. Both fast passes have to be used by the person whom they were issued to, and they have to be used that very same day, and they can only be used at Animal Kingdom. So you can't hop to another park and go on a ride there. All of the members of your party will be issued those fast passes. You just need to let them know how many people you have in your party. If some of them are waiting for you outside the ride, there's the fast pass stand downstairs, and they will have you all congregate there, and the cast member there will add the fast passes to everybody's band. So after I unsuccessfully did not ride Flight of Passage, we immediately went into the fast pass line for Navi River journey, and wow, what a beautiful queue that is as well. It's so peaceful, and there's lots of fans, and even though it was a really hot, humid day, it was actually quite pleasant under there. We basically didn't even wait 5 minutes to go on the ride, even though it was like a 2.5-hour wait for the ride. Usually I tell people, if you're going to go on a boat ride at Disney, never sit in the front row, no matter how short you are, because it looks like there's extra room in there because it's pointed, but there's not. It's actually the leg room in there is really, really, really tight in the front of most boats, and I say never do it. But in this case, I looked at it as we were approaching it, and they were assigning us to the first row, and it looked absolutely massive, the front row section, and as did all the other areas. So I was like, okay, well, I'll try it. And as it turns out, it was very, very roomy. I had no issue with it whatsoever. So Navi River Journey is the only boat that I wouldn't mind going in the front row for. One of the other things that you should know too is as you're getting on the ride, they have these metal bars that are like a big loop like this. And they reach all the way into the right to the edge of the ride. So you can hang on to those really heavy duty, strong metal bars as you're getting right on the ride. And then when you go to get off the ride, those big, strong, heavy metal bars reach right out to the edge of the boat again. So you can grab right a hold of those to get out. So it's just a small step in to the seat of the bench of the boat, and then a small step down again into the well or the bottom of the boat, and there's stuff to hang on to. There's handles inside the boat, so no worries. It's I'm not going to say it's one of the easiest. It is the easiest boat ride to get on and off of at any of the parks at Walt Disney World. So I highly recommend going on that one. Nice peaceful ride. Nice place to cool off. Let's see. Oh, okay, Debbie had a ton of questions for me. Debbie, you're the question queen. I love it. You were asking me if you have to have your magic band when you enter the park, because you were thinking of packing your magic band in your bags and driving and going directly to one of the parks and then getting out. You can use a hard ticket to get in and out of the park, but they need your magic band when you end up going to your resort eventually. I checked out the Walt Disney World website and asked around and also looked to see what articles they had, and they all said that the recommendation from Walt Disney World is that you wear your magic band. So I'm going to go along with that too. It's the easiest way to get around too, because if you have your hard ticket, your card that you get, if you get that in the mail, and you try to use that to get in and out of the park, it works, but I don't know, you know, you're always having to get it out of your pocket. Oh, that's kind of a pain. And when you get to the hotel, you're going to need your magic band anyhow, so you may as well just wear it that day. Maybe if you have kids in your family and you're worried about keeping track of them, maybe you just keep them all in the glove compartment till you get there, and then when you get there on the day, you put them on. If it's going to take you a couple days to get to the park, maybe leave them in your bags, and then the day that you're going to be to the park, you have everybody wear them that day. But yeah, Disney recommends that you wear your magic bands. Debbie also asked, are there any fast pass lines that aren't next to a standby line? Soarin' kind of isn't next to it. You split off right away, and then there's a big high wall that the standby people are on, and then the fast pass people are way down below. But then eventually the two lines come together and merge, and then they put you together in the last portion of the line where they kind of mix you up before you go on the ride. So for a large portion of it, you're separate. But that's really the only one I can think of. The other ones, you're kind of pretty much right next to them the whole time and can see them the whole time. And if you're not next to standby, then you're next to single rider. So Debbie also asked which parks or which rides have single rider lines. Rock and Roller Coaster has single rider, Test Track has single rider, and Expedition Everest has single rider. And those are the only three that I know of. So Expedition Everest at Animal Kingdom, Test Track at Epcot, and what was the other one I said? Rock and Roller Coaster at Hollywood Studios. I know, let's see, you're coming from the West Coast and going to Disney World and hitting all the parks but not staying at Disney. Resort, are magic bands recommended? If you're not staying at a resort, you don't have to have a magic band, but you can buy one and have it linked up. You can either buy one online, and when you receive it at home, you can read through the instructions on the Walt Disney World website and link it up to your magic band. And it's just nice and convenient to have, but you don't have to do it. It's not absolutely necessary. The only people who receive magic bands as part of their tickets are annual pass holders and people who are staying at the resorts. Let's see. Oh, I just got an invitation to a party on my Facebook. Let's see, what else did we have here? Close that. Sorry guys, be patient with me for a second as I scroll through here. Debbie also asked me about explaining bounce back offers, and as I mentioned earlier in the video, I don't really know anything about staying in the resorts because I only live an hour and a half from Walt Disney World, so I always, you know, go home at the end of the day, or I stay at a super cheap hotel that I get a big discount at. So I've never actually stayed at a resort, and I'm so jealous of all of you that do. I hope to do that someday so I can give you resort tours. I actually am planning to do a resort tour at Halloween time or at Christmas time this year, later this year, to show you what that resort is like. Will you ever travel up to the East Coast and come to Hershey Park or Busch Gardens? That's a dream for the future. I don't know. I'll definitely do Busch Gardens here in the Tampa Bay area. But yeah, I want to do every theme park on the planet and make Pammy Plus Parks the ultimate resource for theme parks for plus size people. I would love that. I would love to have that one-stop shopping for everybody. Again, the bounce back offer that Debbie was asking about, I don't have the information for that, but I do recommend that you go to some of the plus size Disney Facebook groups and check in with them. I will link them in the description so you can ask the folks there. There's tons of people there who are going to be able to give you that information. Debbie also asked about the gondola construction going on that's going to link up the Art of Animation with Hollywood Studios. And I can tell you from being there in person that they have started to go vertical. So they built all the underground stuff that they needed to, and they actually have like the big, I don't know what you call them, like pylons? The big concrete things that they hang the wires on. Definitely not in construction, in case you didn't know. But yeah, so that they're starting to put things up. So it's going up. So it's coming along. And from everything that I've read, they just say that they're going to have it open in 2019. The official word on the Walt Disney World website as of December of last year was 2019. And the last thing that I read was from January of this year on the Walt Disney World Moms panel. There was a response to somebody's similar question saying 2019. So they're not committing to any particular date, but I'm excited for that to happen. I just want to get on that and ride it back and forth because I miss the sky ride at Magic Kingdom from when I was a kid. Guys, that about does it for questions. I think that's it. That's all I've got for questions from the websites that I put out there. So let's see, we've been talking for almost 30 minutes. Does anybody have any questions that they want to ask? It doesn't necessarily have to be Disney related. It can be, some folks have been asking about other parks. Let's see. Can I tell you anything about myself? Well, I don't know. How much time do you have? Do I have a favorite resort? Oh gosh. Favorite resort. I love the Polynesian and the bars there. They have wonderful cocktails. And I love I love the Fort Wilderness Lodge, and I haven't been to the Animal Kingdom Lodge yet, but I'm dying to go there because I know you can see animals from inside that lodge. But those are, I only see like the bars and the restaurants and the lobbies. That's all I've ever seen of the resorts. But those are my favorites so far. And I have a little bit of nostalgia for the Contemporary because that was the very first resort that I experienced as a child, as an infant really. I've been going there and like shopping and eating and stuff like that since I was a little kid. So I love that one too. It's got a little special place in my heart, even though it's not the most fabulous of the resorts. Again, you asked me about myself. I'm 47. I got married when I was 41, so I've only been married for, I don't know, what is that, 7 years? Almost 7 years to Mark. I met him when I was 40. I'm his second wife. I've never been married before. I work in the media. I won't get into detail about it too much because I don't want people I work with, I don't want my work to mix with this because they're two separate things, and this is like my passion, and I love my work and I love working in the media and I love my job, but these are very different. I kind of want to keep them separated. I don't know, what else could you possibly want to know about me? Outside of Disney, I'm not that interesting. The first time that I went to Disney was Magic Kingdom, and I was about 1.5 years old. It was December of 1971. My parents went on opening day. They came down on a special vacation, and they decided when they were down here that they were going to live in Florida. And so in December, they came down to start making arrangements to buy a house, and they brought me to Magic Kingdom. So that's the first time I went, and after that I went to Magic Kingdom or one of the Disney parks at least 5 times a year, every year, until I was 27. And then I took a big long break where I very rarely went to the parks, like maybe once or twice a year to there, or like Universal or the other theme parks in the area. And when I met my husband, when we were dating, he bought me an annual pass, and so I have been going, I'm reading somebody's thing here, hold on. Okay, I'll address that in a second. But I've been going to, gosh, for a while there, we were going every single weekend, sometimes 2 or 3 times a week. And now we're down to just a couple of times a month, like 2 to 4 times a month. And I never get sick of it. He's gotten a little tired of it, but I never get sick of Disney. I always get butterflies whenever I go into that archway. Always. Always, always, always. I love it so much. So I think I've been a total of, I tried to calculate it. I kind of lost track at 300 visits like 5 years ago. And I'm thinking, I know it's over 300 visits then, so I'm thinking I'm like well into the 400s, approaching 500 visits to Magic Kingdom and all the parks and all the resorts. And if you count like Disney Springs, Pleasure Island, all of the versions of what Disney Springs has been in the past, I think altogether it's about really close to 500, if not 500 times. So I know 1 or 2 things about Disney, about going to Walt Disney World. I would love to go to Disneyland. Do I have any pets? Encouragement for plus size teenagers, young adults trying to build confidence. Oh, I'm going to do a video about confidence for you guys. I'm really excited about it. I'm working on it. I want it to be very thoughtful, and I want it to reach out to young people and to people of all ages. So yes, I will do a video on confidence with some advice and some tips and techniques. And I totally forgot what your last question was, so I'm gonna do this. All right. Oh, pets. Okay, right now, I have 4 cats that are like stalking me around me, like trying to figure out what the heck I'm doing. I have Abraham, the $5 cat. We named him Abraham because Abraham Lincoln's on the $5 bill and he costs $5 to adopt. About a year or so after that, we adopted Penny. We named her Penny because Abraham Lincoln is on the penny. And then recently, in October of this year, we had a friend who found a couple of kittens that were litter mates, a boy and a girl, a black cat boy and a gray tabby girl, and I named them Jack and Sally. Disney names, of course. So 3 of the cats are black and 1 of them is a gray tabby. And the other pet that we have is Daisy, and she's a brindle mutt. So we have 4 cats and a dog. Someone just asked about the Disney dining plan. Do you think Disney dining plan is worth it? I'm planning a trip and would like guidance. Do you use it? There are 2 of us, both adults. I don't know. I've never had Disney dining plan because I don't stay in the resorts because I'm local. So I think it would be a really great idea if you asked about it on one of the forums. I know that there, if you check, you can do Disney dining calculator. If you Google that, there's a calculator out there that helps you determine it. I will tell you, it depends on how much you eat and how much you like to eat food and how many sit-down restaurants you want to go to as to how expensive it'll be and if it will be useful to you. But from what I understand, you just get a tremendous amount of food on the dining plan. I think the convenience of it, from what I understand, I would do it. I would do it if it was offered to annual pass holders. The convenience of not needing to like worry about paying for anything but your tips. You pay for your tips either in cash or in credit. But how amazing would that be to just go and do what you need to do and not worry about it? That's fantastic. That's one more thing in your vacation that's paid for. So, I mean, I think it would be great, but I don't know what the expenses are. So definitely check out one of the plus size Disney Facebook groups or any Disney planning Facebook group. They're going to have tremendous advice for you there on that. I'm sorry I don't have more info for you. I don't know. That's basically it. I have the 4 crazy cats, crazy dog, crazy husband, crazy job, crazy obsession with Disney. I have you guys. That's what's going on in my life lately. I'm really focused on this project. I'm super excited to go to the parks and to make these videos for you guys and to know, like, the letters that I get from you guys and the notes when you tell me that this impacted your vacation. You went on a ride you were afraid to try to ride before. You did something you never thought you could do. You had a little extra boost of confidence. You felt relaxed going into the parks. That's it. That's why I do it. I had no idea that people were having a problem fitting on rides. I found out accidentally. I was on Facebook one day and I kept seeing this ad for Disney Parks for Plus Size Guests, a Facebook group. And I thought, why would you need to be in a Facebook group if you're fat? And Disney, I don't get it. So I got curious and I checked it out. And then I started reading everybody's posts about how they were afraid to go on rides, and they would go to the park and they would sit on the sidelines because they were afraid they weren't going to fit. So I started commenting, oh, no, you're only a size 18? Oh my gosh, I'm a 32. You can totally fit on this ride. And I would try to describe how to get on and off the ride to people over and over again, and I would feel like people just weren't believing me or they weren't getting it. And I was telling my husband, and he's like, why don't you just make a video and show them? Duh. Like, why didn't I think of that? So that's what I started doing. We picked a day, we brought our cell phone camera, we went to the park, and I just made a video. And I posted it, and I got a tremendous response right away from it. And I was like, okay, this is a thing. So I started the YouTube channel and created one video after the next, and it's just blossomed, and I can see that it's something that people need. And I'm trying to include in the videos not just things for plus size people, but also like any accessibility information that I can put in there too. So I'm also including that, so it's the videos really reach a wider audience and help more and more people. When I read stories about people not going on rides and not making memories with their family and feeling left out and feeling unconfident and feeling crushed and feeling defeated and feeling like they don't deserve it, having fun, and that they're not going to be able to have a good time and that they're going to be anxious, holy cow, that just like crushes my soul. Disney's the one thing that a lot of people have in their lives that is like you can rely on and being fun and exciting and relaxing. And I want to, help people enjoy all the magic that Disney has to offer. So, if I can do that through these little videos and I can have like a small impact on people's lives and help them enjoy their vacation a little bit better, that's amazing to me. It's not a huge thing. I'm not like saving lives. I'm not a teacher. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a legislator making amazing laws. I'm not anything special. But if I can make your vacation a little more relaxed and happy, gosh, that's amazing. I'm so happy to do that. I'm so fortunate to be able to have the annual passes and to go as frequently as I do, and to be able to share that with you. So I just thank you all so much for allowing me to do that and to watch the videos and share them with other people. It just makes me happy to know that a lot of people are going to enjoy their vacations that maybe might not have before. The hero plus size community needed. Oh, come on. I am no hero. There's so many wonderful plus size vloggers out there who are into fashion and makeup and beauty and confidence and just living an amazing lifestyle. I'm just doing one little tiny thing. Let's see. Oh, thank you so much, Gary. I'm glad that you love the videos. I'm so glad that you guys are watching them and that you enjoy them. And I really want to make them extremely informative. I'm a huge nerd, so I'm super thorough and detailed, but I hope that they're fun too. I'm trying to inject a little more fun in the videos and being a little more like my normal. You're seeing a little bit more of my silly, goofy self here in this live cast, but yeah, I'm kind of a goofball, so I kind of want to share that more in the videos and not be quite so serious. I want them to be fun too. I want you to enjoy yourselves. I will tell you, this weekend, Mark and I are planning to go to a place called Solomon's Castle, which is like a weird, quirky, unusual Florida attraction. That is so off the beaten path and interesting. I can't wait to share that video with you guys. So you're gonna see more and more of that. Even if I don't have the big bucks to afford an annual pass for Universal Studios and SeaWorld and Busch Gardens and Legoland, at least I'll try to do these little things for you along the way and give you some fun, cool stuff to watch that'll be like enjoyable. Well guys, it's been almost 40 minutes. I'm sure you gotta get back to your lives. You got your family, your pets, your favorite TV shows. You want to kick back and relax and enjoy your evening. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day, out of your evening to spend it with me. I have loved talking to you tonight, and I'm going to do more of these in the future. So if you guys, I'll just keep you posted on when I'm going to be doing one next. And in fact, in the comments of this video, you want to put any questions you have for the future, for future videos. I will save them and I'll do them in the next Ask Me Anything. In the meantime, I hope that you all have a wonderful, magical night, and I cannot wait to see you real soon.